Okay, this is West Sarudabaruda. As you can see, it is much like East Sarudabaruda, including down to the types of creatures that populate it. Usually, newbie areas outside the town, both of them, because each town has two newbie areas, are very similarly populated, but they lead to different destinations. While the other Sarudabaruda, East Sarudabaruda, led to Tarangi Canyon, this zone has really no direct output. It has 3 entrances to the Horatoto Towers, just like the last edge, but rather than going out to another part of the game world, the only other exits are Windurst and the dungeon area of Gideus, which is an outpost for the Yagudo. This area has actually 2 different notorious monsters. You have Tom Tit Tat, which is a giant Mandragoria, and you have a large carrion crow type of monster up in the north end. I forget what it's called, but it drops a very nice wand for low-level mages. This is Starfall Hillock, which I'm walking up onto. There's a quest related to this area. They want you to, somebody wants you to find something. They lost it. On the other side of Starfall Hillock, you'll find the first of the outposts. Each region, not each area, each region has one outpost, and you can actually teleport to that outpost if you have completed a resupply quest to that outpost. Now, you can only do the resupply outpost if your nation gains control of the region, so that you have your own staff at the outpost. Every time the region changes hands, the guards that populate the area will change that nationality. Now, being that this one is right outside Windurst, it almost never changes hands. I think it's done it once. So almost always this will have Windurstian war warlocks guarding the outposts and various different way stations. There's the Windurstian war warlock, and you see you have another book here for Fields of Valor. If you examine that book, you could choose different monsters to fight, and you get extra experience and rewards from doing that. Now, this person standing next to the war warlock, they're a merchant. If you give them equipment that you don't want to use anymore, just basically extra stuff, you'll get extra conquest points for doing that, and you can spend conquest points on some neat gear. Now, the outposts and way stations are all denoted by having this flag right next to it, and they'll have a war warlock, a temple knight, or a temple knight or an iron musketeer next to them. And if you are the correct nationality, they will renew your signet. They won't do anything for me because I'm Bastokian and they are Windurstian. But like I said, each region has one outpost and several way stations. The way stations are usually located next to zone edges, and you can, in addition to renewing your signet, you can also bind there if you are the proper nationality, so that if you do manage to get yourself killed, you can respawn closer to your combat area and get back to your party or wherever you were fighting more quickly. Excuse me, Yagudo. Now, if I were appropriate level to this area, basically these Yagudo and the goblins would be trying to fight me, but I'm level 70, so they're just basically pretending they don't see me in the hopes that I'll leave them alone. More crawlers and Yagudo. Now, in these basic adventure areas, typically most characters will solo for the first 10 levels. There's nothing stopping you from partying in these areas, but there's really no advantage to it, being that in order to party, you would have to start taking on much more dangerous monsters, and if you partied up, you'd basically have to go directly to the next combat area, which would probably be Tarangi Canyon. So most people who want to stick close to Windurst, they basically just solo here. I'm about to enter into Gideus. It's not where it's not the main city of the Yagudo, but they keep an outpost right next to Windurst in order to be obnoxious. Right through this canyon. Now, at the very lowest levels, you typically only have your auto attack and maybe one or two special abilities. So combat doesn't have a bunch of the flavor that combat at upper levels do, simply because your options are more limited. How it works though is you basically just target your monster here. If you're playing with a keyboard like I do, you'd hit enter to bring up your menu, hit enter on attack. I just hit the 5 key on the number pad to go to third person view, and I hit it once and it dies because I'm level 70. Now this Yagudo dropped a Yagudo bead necklace. If you turn these in to the cat burglar in Windurst, it will she'll reward you with some spare cash, and you'll get increased faction points with the Tenshodo, which is a very important organization in that membership really becomes essential later on in the game. So if you get Yagudo bead necklaces, kind of hang on to those and turn them into the cat burglar. It really becomes important later, and the sooner you get started on that, ultimately the quicker it's over with, because you kind of need to turn a lot of those in. Now, if you feel that you don't want to turn in Yagudo bead necklaces, you can actually use a crystal on them in order to desynthesize them. Synthesis is the name for creating things with the crafting system, and desynthesis is taking them apart. If you desynthesize a Yagudo bead necklace, you'll get some materials with which to make grass cloth, which is low-level cloth armor material. Got some pugils here, more bees. Fighting the bees is really profitable because they drop honey and what's it called? The honeycomb. And those sell to cooks and alchemists respectively, and usually get a nice chunk of change out of it. Now, one thing I have to say is, if you're wandering around in here in Gideus, watch your step, because